Hey, what's up guys, it's Talon. Today I'm going to be going over one of my games, and I'm just going to kind of talk to you guys about what I'm looking for when I'm reviewing one of my games and how to kind of improve from your own games. And so the first kind of thing that I think is important is looking through your match history and determining how you're usually losing your games. So a lot of my games recently, I've been having good stat lines and good early lanes, and then I'm kind of having some deaths later on, and then I lose from that. So I just want to go over really quickly just one of my games. I'm gonna skip through the game. I'm gonna just look through the important points and just kind of show you guys what I'm looking through or looking for. The reason that I'm making this type of video today is because I don't have quite as much time to make a full video, just because I've been busy this weekend. That's why I'm releasing the video a little later. But I wanted to get something out to you guys, so I was just gonna look over one of my games and kind of give you guys my opinion on like how the game went and stuff. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna skip through here to the start of the game. Gonna go here, so we'll back it up a little. So I mean, just to start in the first thing, like I'm always laning that bush, which I generally just or warding that bush, which generally just where I want to ward to see if I can get ganked or anything. I probably could have gone for the raptor ward though. I've been a bit more aggressive with it because Kassadin can't really punish me if I go up there because she's not very strong early game. And so this early game, I think I do pretty well. I don't remember exactly what happens. That's why I'm kind of going to be reviewing it just live with you guys so we can look through it together. But Kassadin's pretty weak early game, so I want to get as much damage as possible on her. That's why I took Electrocute, so that I can get the combo off on her like I'm doing here and win the trade through a combo like that. So far, I mean, I played the lane pretty well. Their jungler is a Kha'Zix, who's not the best ganker. He can gank, but he's not amazing at it, so I'm not too fearful of much here, which is why I'm going rather aggressive and poking the Kassadin down a lot. Now, what I want to do here, or what I should do, is shove the lane because I want it to bounce back to me before the next wave comes. That way, I'm not super gankable. I also could have backed here for a serrated Dirk, and the reason I do that is because he wouldn't have time to back because he'd be clearing a wave under his tower. And so yeah, like here you see I get the next wave crash. Right here, I should just back. Like after this, I should just back for serrated Dirk. I don't need to keep pressuring him. It's not very useful because I can't kill him under his tower. It's just not possible. But if I get the serrated Dirk, it's going to be easier to kill him later. But instead, I'm sitting here and I'm gankable. And it looks like I do get ganked and I lose my flash. So that's already one thing to learn from. I think the important thing in the lane to analyze is really how you're trading and why you're trading with someone. And so there, again, I had time to back and get serrated Dirk, which would have made me much stronger for the lane. But instead, I ended up just over-aggressing and wasting my flash. Now, we're still in a good spot. I ended up getting Kassadin flash there. And I'm trading well with her, so that's still good. I can keep the lane frozen here. I would say that the best thing to do here is freeze the lane because she's backing, or Kassadin's backing, so he would lose a lot. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here, which is a correct play. So far, the main mistake I'm learning from so far is just that I could have gotten, after getting the first two waves, I could have gotten my serrated Dirk. Now, I think the most important things to look for often are, or the best places to look for your mistakes are your deaths. However, that's of course not the only time. I'm also looking at how you could have pressured leads better. So here, the Kassadin ends up roaming after she backs. I think the only thing I could have done here is ping that he was missing. Apart from that, I don't think I did much wrong so far. Just kind of getting them low, but it doesn't look like we're gonna actually kill anyone. We do get the kill onto the cannon, the Garen does, so that's good actually. Getting the poke out there was good. And I still have the freeze going on, so Kassadin continues to lose gold. So far, again, this game is going well. Early game, I am ahead a bit, and we have the lead, but usually my games have been going wrong later on, so I'm just gonna let's kind of like skip through here. There's not much going on, so we'll just go, you know, like when you're reviewing your games, efficiency is important, so skip around. If you can record your games, that's best. Otherwise, you can use the practice tool. But if you really want to learn, I think recording your games is really good and makes it just easier to skip around and everything. And so here at this point, now that Kassadin's level 6, I can't really punish the Kassadin in the same way. So what I should be doing is shoving the lane and roaming now. My goal should just be to shove the lane and then either roam or push the tower. I'm looking for the Kha'Zix here because I see him in top side, so it's a good idea to roam, but he's obviously just going to jump over the wall. I should probably back for Yomus here. I think I have time to, but it looks like there's actually a fight, so I go help here. And it is good that I'm first here. I'm looking to roam while they're not doing that. Obviously, the Kassadin's stuck in lane because he has to farm the wave. So yeah, so far so good. Again, this early game is going very, very smoothly. I'm up about 700 gold. And that's generally, like, this is overall just a pretty normal and good early game for me. Which is very common, and so that's not really the mistakes I'm looking for, but I just thought I might as well at least review to make sure and I did learn that I did not make the proper back timing after killing 2 waves, so that's my main takeaway so far. Excuse me there, sorry. So yeah, now that I have done this, so I want to be backing around 30 seconds before the dragon fight starts, obviously. because then I can get maximum items, and I can also come back to shove mid wave. So what I should be doing after this is going to mid wave, and then immediately going to whatever objective my jungler goes for. And so it looks like I do go to mid wave. It looks like I'm pressuring Kassadin harder than I need to though. Like after I got that damage on her, I should have just left. I shouldn't stay here where I am right now, because it'd be better to just rotate and help my team. But instead I'm just staying in mid lane. It looks like we're just going to trade the objectives though, so not much is going to happen. Kha'Zix will probably come by. I think I saw Kha'Zix somewhere else on the map, but now I see in top side they're fighting. So yeah, still not much to do. I just have to obviously back up because they're coming. So okay, let's try to find a death now. This is typically after this, like there's not much that's going to go on until probably a death or a fight. So that's what I'm going to be looking for now. It's very important, like early game, you can learn like the whole early game, but then after that, go to key fights and just skip around to key fights is typically the best thing in my opinion to do to learn from your game. So I'm just going to keep skipping around until I can kind of find opportunity. Here we get a kill. It's a good roam. Not much learned there. I shoved my lane and then I roamed, which is good. Again, I can't punish Kassadin at a certain point. We've already taken the mid tower, so I should be rotating to other parts to do other stuff now, which is exactly what I'm doing. After the mid lane is shoved, I'm going to different parts of the map. So again, I'm making good rotations so far in this game. I'm going to correct areas of the map, and yeah, this is pretty good. It looks like I think my team dies here. I'm pretty sure this is a big point where my team ends up dying. Let's see if there's anything that I could have done. I'm pretty sure they end up losing this fight, right? Yes, so my team loses this fight. Okay, so now I know, like, my team loses this fight. I'm not the reason we lost the fight, but I should identify, is there anything I could have done differently in this game? So now if I'm looking at the information I had here, right? This is like 30 seconds before the fight happens and my team dies. There's a top wave that I should probably go get because no one's there. Again, I noticed Kassadin's there, so let's see, do I walk top already? Okay, as soon as I see Kassadin, I walk top to match so that Kassadin doesn't get a turret. I think that's a correct decision. Looks like my team is overchased. So I would say that this one, again, you don't always have to blame yourself for every mistake. This one, I would say overall, it was a 4v4. My teammates went too far into their jungle. I don't think that I made the incorrect decision, but again, looking at these types of situations is important to identify whether or not you could have done something differently. But I think with the information I had, I did make the correct play. So now we're going to move on to the next point and see if there's something we can learn from a later part. Again, not much going on so far. And then now there's a Herald. And so what do we do here? Okay, so again, the information I have before the fight starts. I'm on mid wave. I know that their Yasuo is going to back because he's really low. So I know we can get to the objective first. I see Kassadin is top lane. My Garen goes to match the Kassadin. Actually, this is important too. I want to look at the scoreboard here. It's very important to identify who's strong and weak. So I'm going to look at the scoreboard here. I see myself go on it in a second. Okay, so let's look at the scoreboard. Yasuo is very strong. Kassadin is very weak. Kassadin is top lane. Our Garen goes top lane. Our Garen has a 2,000 gold lead. Without the Garen there, they have their strongest members of the fight with Yasuo Alistar. One of our strong members is not there. And they have their team fighting champ with Kennen. Kennen, Yasuo, Alistar, Kha'Zix are all together, which apart from Kha'Zix, they're all very, very good team fighting champs, and the Yasuo is ahead. So I cannot fight straight on. I need to be at the objective first, and I need to poke them out if I want to fight. And because I think my team will probably fight anyways without me, I will go there and I will try to poke people out before the fight. But if I'm not getting enough poke on people, and if I'm just playing straight up instead of flanking someone, then I'm probably going to lose this fight. So what I should be doing here is flanking and poking people out. So let's see what ends up happening. Let's see if I go with my team or if I end up trying to poke people out. Like I said, we know that there's no one nearby, or rather that they backed so that we have the first move on the objective. So we're going to end up going here. I'm going to get the scuttle, which I think is a fine decision so far. And now looking, again, we're just waiting to see if they end up coming, but I'm in my melee form hitting this, which I think I should be in my range form trying to poke people out. Okay, I do poke out Kennen. Looks like the fight goes alright, but we do too much damage to Alistar. We waste our stuff on Alistar, and now Kha'Zix is coming from the side, and Kennen is about to flank and ult in. It looks like we just waste a lot of stuff and don't end up getting really any value out of it. But I knew that we wouldn't win apart from missing that ability, which I shouldn't have missed, and then getting flashed on. So I was just too far up. I should have given up on the fight earlier. Is the key takeaway I'm going to take from there. I'm going to skip around a little. Yeah, so here, again, once, like, at this point, the fight was lost, I should have just backed up, and I also didn't flash. So I need to learn to give up on fights earlier. But again, that is the first death that we have, where we just went too far with our team. After we got the objective, we should have just got off the objective. And so another objective fight is going to start, and again, because of their team fighting. I know Kennen has no flash now, which is important, and Kennen's not here. So we should try to force a fight because we have a 4v5. So ideally, I'm forcing a fight here, and staying with my team kind of grouped because Kennen's not there, so we don't have to worry about that. And then Alistar is obviously, with Yasuo, going to be a big threat. So we got to get him damaged early, which we do. Let's see how the fight ends up turning out. I think we win this one pretty hard. Yeah, it looks like it goes pretty well. Do miss my Q again. So missing my abilities, obviously there's a mistake, but not a ton to learn from abilities. Like, you don't, when you're reviewing your games, I don't really think that it's very important to focus on, oh, we got the kill. But I don't think it's very important to focus on your mechanics typically, because you can do that by playing the game. That's how you learn your mechanics. And then more macro decisions and looking at what happened right before the fight, what did I do during the fight, and what am I doing after the fight, as well as like looking at your deaths is the most important times to typically look at, and objective fights as well is usually what I'm looking at the most. So again, here I'm just farming. Let's see if I can learn any more. So I'm just grouping with my team here, and it looks like it looks like a fight breaks out. So let's look first again at the decision making here. Bot waves and top waves we have pushed, which means that there's nowhere for me to go apart from to mid lane. So I'm gonna go mid lane with my team in case a fight breaks out, which I think is a fine decision so far. What I do here in this game, I see that they're coming from different sides. The Alistar's coming top and the Kha'Zix's coming from bot lane, so I should be aware of flanks, and I should be trying to mark someone on a flank, not just going straight up, because I know they're going to be coming from different angles, and I know Kennen has his ultimate. That's very worrisome. Again, we're damaging the Alistar too much, and I'm not really there to follow up with my team, so it looks like we're going to end up losing this fight because of that. I'm not really dealing any damage in this fight. I'm just kind of sitting around, so I think I could probably be walking up a bit further, but we do end up getting a kill. And I think we actually win this fight. Okay. Yeah, they're both really low here, so we're going to end up chasing down the Kha'Zix and probably getting the kill, I'd imagine. I missed my ability there. That was pretty bad. But yeah, we get the kills. Okay, so the fight was fine there. It went slightly in favor of us. Now Graves looking like he's going to die there. Oh, I knocked him back though. That's good. Okay. I died. Okay, I died. Let's look at how I died. So again, my Graves goes up, so I try to save him. That's a fine decision so far. Yeah, I'm gonna knock him back, and let's see what happens here to cause me to end up dying. It looks like I walked the wrong way. Okay, but I do juke that, but I think I just die here because of his damage. Okay, yeah, so basically what I do here, I just walk in a weird direction. I could have just kept walking straight back, but I walk into my team and I get stuck on the wall. Like, that was just kind of dumb decision making by me. So yeah, I mean, just should have walked backwards. But again, there's not a ton to learn from that. It's more just like I walked the wrong way. That's not really the type of things you need to take from your games. Usually when you're VOD reviewing, it's more important to learn more specific stuff, like about like your decision making and everything. So I'm really looking at my decision making before these fights, and so far it appears to have been mostly fine. So now we're just gonna go for a ward here. I think we have stasis that we're gonna back for. But yeah, we don't need it back yet because there's not much going on, so I might as well just get some more gold on the top side of the map if I can. I think I should have just gone straight to top lane here. Oh, looks like my team's gonna start a fight, so we're gonna just follow up, which would make sense. If my team engages, I'm gonna have to go in here, but I don't necessarily want to. You can see I'm kind of trying to get back, taking a retreat. I know Kennen is near the bot side. I should probably be pushing out the bottom side of the map at this point, so hopefully I go to bot lane. But it looks like then a fight kind of breaks out, so we go top, which is the correct decision. Once we see that the fight starts, we get the kill on him. Oh, that was a weird flash. That flash was kind of bad. I should not have flashed it. That was not good. I think I'm gonna greed for the kill. But yeah, okay. I wasted too much time there. I wasted my flash. I was really over aggressive. Wasting my flash right before an objective fight as well is very bad, because the objective's about to spawn. But we end up getting a kill on Kennen, which is decent. Though my Graves is dead. So since we don't have a jungler here, we don't really want to fight. We just want to kind of zone them off so that they can't go for the objective. Because yeah, we don't have our smite up. But instead I'm going to back here. I think I could have stayed up and poked people in mid lane. Excuse me. But yeah, I think I could have stayed up and poked people in mid lane, because now they're going to get the dragon for free, when I could have potentially pressured them off of it. And also, if I hadn't wasted my flash, it would be much easier to do that. But yeah, I'm going to go bot lane here, because obviously I don't want our inhibitor to die, so I have to push that out. Looks like my team's going to start a fight, and we're going to end up dying there, I would imagine, so that is unfortunate. So at this point in the game, I know I'm kind of behind, or our team is behind, so I think what I should do is just kind of start pushing other parts of the map. I shouldn't really group anymore. I've kind of noticed grouping is not going to work against this team comp, so I think an important thing here in this game was to identify team composition. They have Kennen, Yasuo, Alistar, Like, that is a very good team fighting comp, so we really shouldn't be in many team fights. We should be just kind of playing on the side lane. But instead, we're kind of letting Kennen do whatever Kennen wants to us, which is a mistake by me there. And then I just go up. Again, like, I'm playing in mid lane a lot more than I probably need to. Even if these fights aren't turning out horribly, they should, like, okay, I also die here, so this was a mistake by me. Yeah, so again, like, I think the decision-making problem is that I should never be mid lane in the first place. So when, like, I'm looking at my team comps again, right? And our win condition is really split pushing in this game and playing on side lanes. We have a Garen and a Jace. Those are both champs that are very good on side lane and very good when they can get a lot of gold in them and then split push and pressure the enemy. So I think I should have been on the side lane a lot more here. I could have potentially even bought Hullbreaker, third item, if I wanted to. Though I don't think that was necessary because I have a Garen, so probably wouldn't want to end up buying Hullbreaker. But still a thought. And yes, so I think the main problem that does lead to this game being a loss is just that I didn't understand the win condition being split pushing, so I'm not playing on a side lane. I was too worried to group with my team too often in this game, which kind of led to the mistake. And so again, like, what I'm trying to show you guys here, one, you know, I'm VOD reviewing my own game to give you guys some information about just what my mistakes are in these games so you can understand and learn from that stuff. But also, the really important takeaways are every death you have or every team fight your team loses, look back at the last 30 seconds, look at what you did wrong and right and what you could improve on. And then those are the key moments to identify. You don't need to look at every small thing you do because you're going to learn that stuff from playing. But the things you're not going to learn are the things that are, like, take longer to think and logic out. So again, a thing like looking at your team comp versus theirs and thinking, do you actually have a chance of winning a fight or should you be on a side lane? So again here, looking at this situation, we can see I thought they might be on Baron. So I go to Baron, I check it, and I waste... Let's look at the timer. I walk to Baron. I walked to Baron at 18. I stay there until 30, 40, and I die. I had 30 seconds, 40 seconds, where I could have been pushing a lane so that they could not end the game with Baron. But instead, because I decide to go and try to contest without my jungler, or like with my jungler, but without most of my team being there, I'm obviously just going to die here. Instead, I could have been top lane. I could probably have gotten sorry about that. I could have probably gotten the top lane wave. All the way up almost to their inhib at this point, which would at least pressure them and waste our time. And obviously this game at this point is pretty hard, but again, playing on the side lane could have made this game potentially winnable because I should have identified much earlier that team fights are not going to be won again with the team compositions, and then playing around the side lanes just would have made this game completely winnable while still hard. So I think, yes, the main takeaway here from this specific game is that in the mid to late game, after I have a lead, if I identify that team fights are not winnable due to team comps or due to the amount of gold my enemy has, I should play more around a side lane, and so it looks like that's going to end up being GG. And so again, guys, you know, I already kind of reiterated my points about what to look for in VOD reviews, and this was more of just like a little bit of a different type of video where I'm just reviewing one of my own games and letting you guys see my thoughts of what I go through when I look through games. Typically, I think it's also important to not take away too much from any individual game. I think it's important to understand, like, you're not going to be able to fix everything in one or two reviews, so really hone in on what caused the specific game you're looking at to be a loss, and then try to work on that in future games. So what I'm going to kind of work on at this point after identifying or watching this game is when I think that my team can't win team fights, I'm going to try playing harder on the side lanes and see how that fixes some of my late game games where I'm a bit ahead, but my team is not ahead. And as you can see here, if we look again through my match history here, which I was looking through on my stream, it's a lot of SVPs, and while some people might be like, oh, I'm getting a lot of SVPs with good score lines, that probably means that I'm just like, you know, that I'm probably carrying bad teammates, right? But in reality, as we can see from that game, there was a lot of mistakes I did that aren't necessarily tied to KDA. I made good plays and I played well in the fights, but in many of these games, often I'm making these mistakes where I'm not playing around my own individual lead. I'm not buying Hullbreaker. I'm not split pushing, making multiple people come to me because I'm strong, but I am instead grouping with my team and fighting against better team fighting comps and better scaling comps. And so I think there is a lot to learn even from losses where you're playing well. And again, looking at your match history and identifying, well, in my match history looks like I have a lot of deaths, then, well, you should probably look at all those deaths and see what's happening. In my case, my KDAs are usually very good, and I have a lot of gold in these games, so clearly there's more mistakes not related to KDA that are causing these losses, and so this, again, these are the main takeaways I have from that game, as you guys heard about throughout the game, and so I think you can do similar things in your games. And so that's gonna be it for the video. I accidentally tabbed out of there at the end, but yeah, I got this gameplay from my Twitch, as you guys can see. So if you guys, you know, want to follow my Twitch, feel free to follow that. and I'll see you guys later.